New training footage of Conor Benn has just dropped, and it's clear he's dialed in ahead of his next fight. He is showing sharper movement, quicker hands, and more control in the ring. In preparation for the Eubank fight, he's pushing his cardio limits with high-intensity drills. The altitude mask simulates high-altitude conditions, forcing the lungs to work harder and building stamina under pressure. It's a method used by elite fighters to gain that extra edge, especially in later rounds when fatigue sets in. Alongside his endurance work, Benn is focusing heavily on technique and shot placement. These days, in the camp, his emphasis is on refining power combinations and maintaining form under pressure. His heavy bag sessions reflect that focus. Benn targets the body and head with precise, compact combinations. There's clear attention to balance, timing, and snap in each punch, indicating sharpness in camp and a strategic approach to how he plans to engage on fight night. As the Eubank Jr. bout approaches, Benn's sparring sessions have intensified. A key area of focus has been body work, targeting the midsection with controlled aggression. Trainers often use these sessions to simulate in-ring conditions, and Benn's application of pressure here shows how he's preparing to break down his opponent systematically. The combinations are short and tight, left hooks to the ribs, uppercuts up the middle, and a relentless pace that forces the sparring partner backward. It's not just power, it's placement. This kind of repetition in camp builds muscle memory for mid-range exchanges, where Benn may look to wear Eubank down over rounds. The intent is clear: slow the opponent, break rhythm, and capitalize in the later stages. In the final stretch of camp, Conor Benn's focus on physical conditioning has intensified. His team has incorporated a mix of explosive strength drills, mobility-focused circuits, and high-intensity intervals to sharpen every facet of his performance. This phase of preparation is tailored specifically to sustain power output over all scheduled rounds while minimizing the risk of injury. Roy Jones Jr., the former trainer of Chris Eubank Jr., recently shared his insight on the upcoming bout between Eubank and Conor Benn. Having spent time in Eubank's corner, Jones offers a unique perspective on how this fight could unfold, especially given his first-hand experience with Eubank's ring IQ and technical development. While no longer involved in his camp, Roy remains one of the few voices who can break down both fighters' strengths with accuracy and without bias.
I think it's going to be a very good fight. Conor has punching power chances. Chris is the bigger guy, so you give Chris the advantage going in because he's a bigger guy, but Conor does have exceptional punching power, so it's going to be a great fight. I think Chris should win the fight. I think Chris should outbox him, outsmart him, but he will have to be smart early because Conor is a great puncher.
Roy's breakdown reflects the general sentiment from boxing circles. Eubank holds the natural size and experience advantage, but Benn's punching power remains a legitimate threat, especially in the early rounds. Jones's view that Eubank should outbox and outsmart Benn adds weight to the belief that this fight may come down to discipline and composure. His warning about the early rounds mirrors what many analysts have suggested. If Eubank can weather Benn's initial bursts, he stands a strong chance of taking control as the fight progresses. In response to the ongoing analysis surrounding the fight, Conor Benn continues to put in focused, high-intensity work behind the scenes. Recent training footage has highlighted Benn's sharpness during mitt work, showing a fighter who's not just powerful but extremely precise. While much of the talk has centered around Benn's knockout threat, his hand speed and accuracy are just as crucial in his preparation for a technically sound opponent like Eubank Jr. This session offers a clear view of Benn's current condition: explosive, dialed in, and maintaining rhythm even at a high tempo. His combinations are fluid and aggressive, designed not just to land clean, but to overwhelm opponents. It also reinforces what his team has been pushing throughout camp: controlled aggression with fast transitions. Side-by-side comparisons of the two fighters have been making rounds online, giving fans and analysts a closer look at their recent gym performances. While styles remain distinct, both fighters seem locked in on their respective game plans. This training footage highlights key contrasts: Eubank Jr.'s forward pressure and high guard versus Benn's measured offense and foot positioning. Eubank Jr. moves forward with a tight, composed posture, rarely wasting motion, but keeps his head centered, which may invite counters. In contrast, Benn advances in deliberate increments, setting up each shot with intention, pushing his sparring partner back consistently. As Conor Benn's preparation intensifies, his focus on bodywork has become increasingly evident in recent training sessions. Known for his explosive mid-range offense, Benn has been dedicating significant time to refining his body shot mechanics, an area that could prove pivotal against a taller opponent like Chris Eubank Jr. This next clip offers a closer look at Benn drilling targeted combinations on the pads, emphasizing power, placement, and repetition with fight-specific intent. The combinations are sharp and relentless, with Benn ripping into the midsection using tight, compact hooks and uppercut angles. His foot positioning remains steady throughout, allowing for full torque and balance behind each shot. This type of sustained body attack is a clear tactical focus, likely aimed at wearing down a bigger, possibly weight-drained Eubank Jr. over the course of the fight. Every sequence here is built with a purpose, showcasing Benn's intent to break his opponent down systematically. In the heart of his training camp, Conor Benn continues to sharpen his timing, accuracy, and explosiveness. Here's a pad holder's view of Benn's intensity.
That's the shot, and again. That's it, good uppercut. And again, one more.
From this angle, you can see the speed and precision behind each shot. Every combination is thrown with intent, showcasing the controlled aggression for which Benn is known for. As anticipation builds for the April 26th showdown, prominent figures in the boxing world are weighing in with their predictions. Among them is Hearn, founder of Matchroom Sport and a longtime voice in British boxing. With decades of experience behind some of the sport's biggest events, Barry knows firsthand what a bout of this magnitude represents, not just for the fighters, but for the legacy of their families.
I think it's going to be a massive fight. I think it's arguably one of the biggest fights ever to take place in England. The personalities, the backstory between the dads, everything works to make this humongous. We could have sold 500,000 tickets. I think I'm with Conor Benn on this. I think he's gone through more than enough in his life, which has now been completely exonerated. What a waste of 2 years of a young man's life. He's got a point to prove, but Eubank is the bigger man. So I see it as a 50-50 fight, and I believe that Conor Benn can knock out Eubank Jr.
Barry Hearn's perspective adds further weight to the excitement surrounding this fight. His view of it being a true 50-50 contest echoes the sentiments of many analysts, but his belief in Conor Benn's knockout power adds another layer of intrigue. Coming from someone who's seen generations of great British fighters rise through the ranks, Hearn's endorsement speaks volumes. With both men carrying the weight of legacy and expectation, this bout is shaping up to be a defining chapter in modern British boxing. In the lead up to the April 26th clash, the intensity between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. has only escalated. While Eubank Jr. has leaned into psychological tactics, Benn has responded with unfiltered aggression. Speaking in a recent media appearance, Benn didn't hold back, making it clear that the rivalry has become deeply personal.
Come on. Oh, I can't wait to smash his fucking head in. Honestly, I can't wait to smash his head in. You see April 26th? Jeez. so yeah. He's in big trouble.
This latest statement reflects the raw emotions fueling the build-up to fight night. For Ben, this is about more than settling a sporting score. It's a matter of pride, legacy, and personal redemption. As tensions rise, both camps continue to push forward in training, fully aware that words will soon give way to action in the ring. As the boxing world continues to weigh in on the highly anticipated grudge match between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, former world champion Ricky Hatton has now added his voice to the conversation. Known for his honest assessments and deep understanding of the sport, Hatton delivered a thoughtful and somewhat surprising prediction.
It's really interesting to think, to be honest with you. I mean, Conor's going up for 2 weight divisions. He's not fought anyone like the people that Eubank Jr. has fought, at his own weight, let alone 2 weights above. So it'll be very interesting. But Conor has a huge self-belief and drive, to be honest with you. A drive like his dad. The Benn family, I've never seen a family with more drive and determination. So I think everything's pointing at Chris Eubank Jr. But I think I might have a sneaky few quid on Conor, to be honest with you. His drive and his confidence and his self-belief is something that I've only ever seen in a handful of people, and he's going to need that, and I think that might be enough against Eubank.
Despite acknowledging the physical disadvantages Ben faces, including moving up 2 weight divisions, Hatton focused on Ben's unshakable self-belief and relentless determination. Drawing parallels to Nigel Benn's legendary grit, Hatton suggested that Conor's internal drive could be the X factor in this matchup. It's a sentiment shared by others in the sport, highlighting how unpredictable and emotionally charged this fight truly is. Gareth A. Davies, a longtime commentator and journalist, Davies has covered every major shift in the sport, including the original Benn vs. Eubank rivalry in the 90s. Now, with the sons preparing to meet in the ring, Davies offers a powerful reflection on how the fight has evolved beyond a mere grudge match, becoming a saga rooted in legacy, controversy, and national interest.
Eubank Benn.
Yeah, well, it's bigger than it ever was. It's 3 times bigger than it was before the 2 positive clomiphene tests. Ben's dangerous early in that fight, in my view, because he's coming with all that stinging venom and kind of pent-up aggression that he's developed over the last 2.5 years.
Davies doesn't shy away from acknowledging the controversy that has followed Conor Benn, but instead of diminishing the fight, he argues the turmoil has only added layers to its narrative. At the same time, he assesses both fighters with a critical eye, pointing to Eubank Jr.'s edge and experience, and the toll time may have taken on both men since the fight was first postponed.
But I think Eubank's fought the better level of opponents, even though he's aged 2.5 years and he's been knocked out by Liam Smith. I go Eubank on points. What do you go?
I go Benn.
Early?
Early.
Yeah, you may be right.
I just think from the history, I'd love to see the Benn family celebrate.
I'm looking forward to the build-up once they get the fathers involved. April the 26th. Nigel and Conor are both emotional. Yeah. And Chris both play the villain, don't they? Okay. Even though I think in this one, Eubank Jr. is going to be able to sit back a little bit. Yeah, some people are saying that they don't think the fight means anything, but I think the bloodline in British sport.
Any man in the UK who's watched the dads fight are desperate to watch this fight.
As the verbal warfare continues to intensify in the build-up to their highly anticipated clash, both Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. have dialed up the psychological pressure. The latest war of words unfolded during a heated face-off where Benn didn't hesitate to let his opponent know exactly what's coming. He painted a vivid picture of relentless aggression from the opening bell, a direct threat to Eubank Jr.'s poise and composure. Known for his firebrand energy and fearless demeanor, Benn wasted no time laying it out bluntly. He's coming fast, hard, and with bad intentions. It was classic Benn, emotionally charged, fearless, and determined to get under Eubank's skin, and it worked.
I'm going to come in there and stick it on you from the get-go. Good. Straight away. I'm going to come out there hot skipping a big right hand to a big flipping head of yours.
Eubank Jr., never one to back down from a verbal challenge, fired back with a cold, calculated response, mocking Benn's bravado with a taunt of his own. Unfazed and exuding his trademark calm confidence, Eubank Jr. suggested Benn's aggression would backfire under the bright lights. His prediction, that is when the pressure truly hits, and Conor won't charge forward but instead retreat.
I don't believe you.
Oh, you don't believe me?
No.
What would you believe then?
I don't believe
What do you believe
I
in?
think you're going to run for your life.
Oh, shut up. Talk.
It was a mic drop moment, one that perfectly encapsulated the mind games fueling this modern day blood feud. Both men believe they'll break the other, not just physically, but psychologically. And come fight night, only one of them will be right. Who do you think walks away victorious on April 26th? Conor Benn or Chris Eubank Jr.? Let us know your prediction in the comments below.